If you are open-minded and not afraid of life, please keep watching. If you are closed-minded or a fear-based type of thinker, please click off this video. I'm not even sure why you would click on it, unless probably to be nosy. If that deters anyone from watching my channel or from subscribing, that is totally okay. As I've been saying on my channel, I only want people who truly fuck with me. I do not want to have anybody following me who's just here to be nosy, who's just here to throw in naysay or peanut gallery opinions and judgments, or to go run tell that back to the people who are blocked, who want to know what's going on over here. Have a wonderful day.
I was down with an illusion, like a sparrow with broken wings, but now I shine with your reflection on me.
So as you can see from the title, that is exactly what is going to happen. I will be delivering my new life coming in by myself without the help of a doctor or a midwife. I am very confident in myself that I can do this. I know that the indigenous did it. I know that our ancestors did it. Yes, we are in new times and we don't have to do things that way, but I want to do things that way for numerous reasons that I will get into in this video. I have had people undermine my confidence in myself because they are in fear-based thought processes from the conditioning and programming that society has moved us into, especially Western society, Eastern, spiritual, indigenous. All of those beautiful ways have been lost in the sauce, unfortunately, and we have been completely programmed thinking that everything is not going to be okay if we don't go to a doctor, or if we don't get hooked up to a machine, or if we don't have some sort of injection put in us, and that is false. Our bodies know exactly what to do in any given moment, whether you believe that or not. Our babies know exactly what to do in any given moment, whether you believe that or not. Putting those two together is unstoppable, especially if you get a glimpse of the consciousness of the life that you're bringing in. And I did get a glimpse of that during my last ultrasound. I only went to that ultrasound because everyone kept saying, please go, please go, please go. Please get the measurements done, because it was the anatomy scan. Please get that done. And I keep hearing all this, please do this, please do this. Oh my gosh, and I'm over it. This is my pregnancy. This is not something that everyone else is experiencing with me. I am experiencing this alone, in my own body, with myself, and this new life. So I'm done with the please do this, please do that. It's done. I am making this video for anyone who is excited or contemplating of doing this themselves, if they also feel uncomfortable in the medical field or with doctors or even with midwives. I'm doing this for anyone who feels obligated to go the route that their family or friends or acquaintances want them to go, and they don't know if they should trust their own instinct. Trust your own instincts, because you know what you're capable of over anyone else outside of you. Before I go into the reasons why I chose to do this, I would like to start off with saying that it is very possible for this to happen. I have some links below that can confirm this. You may think, oh, well, that's just one example, or they're not even using a real situation. It's really as simple as that. A real situation doesn't even have to be used for that, because it's all in the consciousness and it's all in the knowledge. Once you have knowledge behind something, whether you have physically done it or not, your brain is going to compute what you have seen, and if you are truly ready for it in your heart, you will know exactly what to do. If you are not ready for it in your heart, then that is something that you should maybe reconsider. A lot of people have done this, whether in their car, in a park, due to this pandemic, due to a lot of different factors. This has been happening more often lately because of many different worldly factors or circumstances. So this is nothing new. This is, not only has it happened in the very beginning of times, but it is also happening now once again, because we are going through a reset in the world. And you can't always get to the doctor of your choice, or you can't always get to a midwife of your choice. And so a lot of people have done it successfully. I am so absolutely proud of them. I think it's absolutely amazing. In that regard of people doing this on their own, the biggest bright side is to it, you don't have any sort of outside energy but you and your own, besides anyone else that you might want there with you. As far as why I personally came to this decision, throughout this pregnancy, I have had quite a few incidences where I felt highly malicious energy or sneaky energy or uncomfortable with the energies that were around tending to us. I'm a bit out of breath because this third trimester that I have entered has me out of breath, has me in dizzy spells and almost near fainting due to the energies that I am around. I luckily will not be around them very soon, and I'm so excited for that. It also has me in these modes because of triggers from childhood memories that I've been having as well, which those are going to stop as well because I will not be around certain energies that have been triggering that. I think I'm also very passionate about this topic, so I've been meaning to talk about this, and I'm just like out of breath just thinking about getting it out. It's just so many different factors. Let me just try to breathe for a second. I also have something else on my mind that I just found out about that it's taking everything in me not to express in this video. So we will get past that as well. By the way, yes, it is the rising time for me. I've just had my breakfast and I decided to just hit record instead of getting all ready because I just wanted to express myself. Okay, so in the very beginning, this third trimester also has me extremely fatigued. Which, if you saw my Metaphysical Roots of Pregnancy Symptoms video, I know that some of these things have to do with other things. Specifically, the dizziness, dizzy spells are out-of-body experiences trying to bring my attention to something. And I already know what that attention is. It's basically time for the next step and time to get away from certain energies. As far as the fatigue, I'm just gonna read off from the notes. If you want to see full metaphysical symptoms, go check out that video, but I will explain the fatigue because I need to reread it again for myself because it's massive. Besides being drained by energies, by the way, it is also because going against the current of life, the false belief you are stuck in any situation, trouble saying no, doing things you don't want to do, negative viewpoint about life, overworked past natural limits, while fueled with emotion and resentment towards not taking control, or knowing you have control and or not speaking up for yourself, suppressing creativity instead of letting it manifest. What I can say that I truly think is happening with me, honestly, is definitely probably doing things that I don't want to do. I don't want to be around these energies anymore, but it's almost done. Resentment towards not taking control, however, because this certain thing that I'm waiting for is in the matter of someone else's hands, but I'm gonna be patient and wait. Everything else, I've got that under control, so I think it's just those two things. Anyway, that aside, we went on a whole tangent here. Okay, in the beginning of this pregnancy, I went to this one hospital in LA, and let me tell you, the energy of the person who did that first ever ultrasound for me was disgusting, and so was the energy of the assistant. It was two women. They honestly felt like men energetically, and I have nothing against men, but their energy felt like men. They were in there, they were extremely serious. There was like no humanity within them at all. The one who was operating the ultrasound almost felt like she was trying to like harm me or my offspring. Like that's what it felt like, and it just was like very uncomfortable. She went up in there without my consent, and it was just like, whoa, you're doing too much. And so I never went back there. They also took way too much blood from me, and that's another thing that you don't necessarily have to comply with when you go to the doctor, as much as you may think you do, but no, you do not. Left there, never went back, ended up having all this stuff happen and had to obviously come to San Francisco, which I'm so happy that I did. Well, I didn't have to, but I chose to for a new life, and never expected all of these amazing resources that I have gained. So grateful for that. So anyway, I get here, I end up going to a new hospital. It was seemingly awesome at first, which it still is. I can't say that it's a bad hospital. They have some of the most outstanding doctors I've ever encountered. They have gone to the best school, I heard. as far as doctors are concerned. So it's nothing against them specifically, but some people that have worked with me in there, even like down to a social worker in there, was extremely sneaky and malicious with actions. I caught her on some errors that were not okay, so I had to end that. I also had an experience recently with another person who just recently did my ultrasound, who also felt very non-nurturing. It was like pulling teeth just to get her to turn the screen over to me for me to see what was going on inside. I did have a magical experience watching the life inside and what they were doing. I'll get to that in a different video later on, probably after I give birth. I'll explain what was going on in there, which was so magical. However, the ultrasound tech was just, it felt uncomfortable again. Not as bad as the very first time, but it was like uncomfortable again. I've only been given 1 or 2 pictures each time. They're super zoomed in. I know other people get like all these like blown out pictures of like far distances. They get to see the whole baby, and it's just like, I know that these things are very tiny to like comment on, and I know that it's not that serious, but like when you're having an experience, you want it to be like everything. You want it to be like you get to enjoy every aspect of it. And I feel like a lot of this pregnancy has kind of been, certain aspects that I would love to have enjoyed have been taken every time I step into a hospital. When I don't go and I give myself months without going, I feel better, I feel happier, I feel more in tune, everything ends up being okay anyway. And I just feel like I'd rather just not even go if they're not gonna give me the experience that I feel like I deserve. And it's like they want to add on all these things that they, you know, that they've been taught or trained, but I end up healing every issue that I have naturally before I even have to go back there. I end up figuring out the root to it, or figuring out what food to eat for it, or figuring out what to do for it. I end up figuring it out myself. My natural instincts has not led me astray at all this entire pregnancy, but every time I step foot in there, I feel uncomfortable and the uncertainty comes back, and I just feel all these different things, and it's like, no. I have not felt comfortable with finding any doctor to deliver the new life coming in for me. I have not felt comfortable with any midwife or doula that I have met or interviewed or have been trying to find online with this new life coming in for me. I want the right energy to deliver this new life. And the right energy for me is me at this point. I am not gonna sit around and settle for someone or some situation that is not comfortable for me, that does not feel right to me, that something feels off. And unfortunately, something has felt off with everyone that I've encountered when I go into an establishment for this pregnancy. And so I'm done. I'm done with that. I have been educating myself on exactly how to do this myself. I am very confident that I can do this. I feel like I've probably done it before. That's how confident I am in it. And I know that I absorb information like a sponge. I know that I'm getting my doctorate in metaphysical science, and my knowledge so far in metaphysics has equipped me with knowing the root of things, with knowing the spiritual back end of all of this physical illusion that we are in. Everything starts spiritually. We are spiritual beings having a human experience, and the medical system and the, you know, hospitals take away from all of the spiritual aspect of pregnancy, and I don't want that moving forward. I want only the best intentions and energies for this new life coming in for me. And so I'm not only limiting myself to just the links that I put in my description. I have been going full on with educating on every aspect, every article, everything that I could find on numerous aspects of what I need to do before, during, and after. And I am very excited to have my happy home water birth with delivering my offspring myself. And whoever I choose to have there, it will be amazing. Only Spirit is going to have the right people there. And so we will see what happens when the time comes for that. And until then, I'm going to breathe. And until I see you next time, just breathe.